Hey folks, Bill Bodner here. Thanks for tuning in to our MMG weekly recap. So up on the screen, I have a draft to the Mortgage Market Guide weekly newsletter, which you can send to your partners and your builders. And the theme is what we need to be thinking about as mortgage bankers over the next several weeks. And it relates to the Fed meeting on Wednesday, where Fed Chair Powell had a statement, which was he was pretty dovish. It essentially said, "Hey, we didn't taper. COVID cases were rising, and we'll see how the future holds. And if it goes the way we think, we'll probably have to taper in the future." Well, it was a very different tune a half hour later when the Fed chair did his press conference, and he gave a bunch of quotes, which is essentially set the stage for an announcement about a taper as soon as November 3rd, the next Fed meeting. So you can see here, we joke about the bags are packed, I'm ready to go. The Fed is ready to go. Asset purchases still have a use, but it's time to taper them. There is very broad support on the committee for timing and pace of the taper. There are some who have preferred to go sooner due to the financial stability concerns. That's the inflation piece. But yet at the same time, they said wouldn't put too much on inflation remaining above the goal in the Fed's current outlook because they see inflation going to moderate sometime next year. And then to wrap it all up, completing taper sometime around the middle of next year will be appropriate. So they say they have $120 billion worth of bonds that they want to get down to zero. That's what they're buying. In order to do that, they're going to have to start sooner rather than later. So they're going to go and probably look at November 3rd as being a time to announce that. And maybe they start chiseling away at it, maybe even within this calendar year, and have it all wrapped up by sometime in the summer. Now, certain things have to align. And over the next several weeks, as a mortgage banker, and a broker, you have data to watch, a lot of data, a ton of it next week. The jobs report, the September jobs report, on October 8th was when it's delivered that Friday, is probably the most important jobs report in some time, because that will be the one where, if it's a good reading, it starts to meet the Fed's mandate that, hey, we're meeting that substantial further progress on the employment side. Some of the recent employment data has not been good because of COVID, but if this one turns out good, I think you could place a bet that the Fed's going to set sail in November because they've just said it. If it's not good, they may go ahead and punt. So it makes the data over the next few weeks real important. And then before we even get there, next week is littered with stuff that's so important for us to track. PCE, core PCE, retail sales, consumer sentiment, tons of stuff which could certainly affect the bond market. So you need to be dialed in real time and plugged in because stuff is changing. Now, while we're speaking, interest rates have already started to tick up. And the Fed said, well, we're not expecting a taper tantrum because we're well telegraphing it. Well, it was not actually that well telegraphed. We knew that the Fed wants to get out. And after seeing that statement come out, which was pretty soft, they were kind of surprised by the rhetoric of like, hey, we're ready to go. And we're probably like one jobs report away from doing it. So things have changed kind of quickly. And the bond market, here we are on a Thursday, not liking it so far. So you need to be very careful in managing your pipeline because there's a real threat that things could get worse before they get better. Hope this finds you well. Have yourself a great weekend. Be safe. We'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.